Is the door open? Where is everybody? Hearing her voice, the youngest little goat came out of the grandfather's.
Good morning. This is Judge Martin. This is courtroom number one. Today's docket is landlord-tenant cases only. There will be a short video that plays at approximately 9:15 that explains the legal rights you have available to you. At the conclusion of that hearing, if there are representatives from Lakeshore Legal Aid and tenants wish to speak to an attorney, we'll connect you with that attorney. If Lakeshore Legal Aid is not present, you'll have the opportunity to speak to your landlord's attorney. Again, we'll get started here at about 9:15.
Excuse me, Your Honor. So, Your Honor,
Ma'am, she's not on Zoom right now.
can anybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how to do it. Like I don't know
You don't know how to do what?
how to get to the. She said go to the meeting.
You're where you're supposed to be.
Oh, okay. Yes. Even if you were that lazy, why would you pay someone else to do it? It's cheaper.
This is 2403296 LT Integrated Property versus Barrett. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Adam Devlin, P 72877 for the plaintiff.
And good morning, Alexa Metner from Lakeshore Legal Aid, representing the defendant.
Good morning. Marianne advised that there's a resolution to this case. Who's going to place the terms on the record, please?
I will, Your Honor. I had arranged this with Attorney George. we are going to dismiss the named defendant and enter a judgment for June 6th, all occupants only.
Is that your understanding, Ms. Methner?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Devlin, if you'd have your office submit that order through on-base true filing, whatever you call it, I'll sign it and get it back to the parties. Anything else this morning, Mr. Devlin?
No, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. Anything else, Ms. Methner?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. To the remaining parties present, in the next few minutes, we'll be playing a video that explains the legal rights you have available to you. At the conclusion of that hearing, your case will be called by case number and by name. And I will ask if you've made an application for rental assistance, or if you would like to speak to a representative from Lakeshore Legal Aid. If you have not made an application for rental assistance and you do not want to speak to the legal aid attorney, you will be moved into a breakout room to speak to your landlord or your landlord's attorney. When your case is called, be prepared to unmute yourself, turn your video on, and state your name for the record.
Hello? Is this him? Yes. Okay.
Marianne, if you would start that video for me, please.
Welcome to the 34th District Court. Please listen carefully for information about your rights and resources that may be available to assist you. Please have a paper and a pen handy. You have the right to hire an attorney to represent you. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, you may qualify for legal aid assistance. There may be a representative from Lakeshore Legal Aid available today to speak with you, or you can contact them at 888-783-8190. You have the right to have your case heard in the proper venue. If the property is not located in the 34th District, you can ask the court to transfer your case to the district where the property, or any part of it, is located. You have the right to demand a jury trial. If you want a jury trial, you must tell the court today or make the demand in writing within 5 days of today's hearing. You can use Form MC-22 Jury Demand and file it with the court. You must pay $50 when you make your demand, or within 5 days of the court advising you of this right. You do not have to pay the jury fee if you have asked the court to waive fees and the court has approved your request under MCR 2.002. If your landlord has asked for you to be evicted from a residential property because you haven't paid rent, you may be able to get assistance from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, MDHHS, a local coordinated entry agency, a housing assessment and resource agency, or a federal Help for Homeless Veterans program. You should have received information on local rental and housing assistance with the summons. You do not need a judgment against you to receive help from the places listed above. A copy of the summons and complaint from your case are enough. If your case is for non-payment and you have already applied for assistance from one of these agencies, be sure to let the court clerk or the judge know when your case is called. You will be required to submit written proof to the court within 5 days of today's hearing. Your landlord-tenant case can be resolved in a number of ways. You may be able to reach an agreement with the landlord by going through a Michigan or local community dispute resolution program. You can find a program at courts.my.gov/CDRP. You may also reach an agreement with the landlord that will mean the case gets dismissed. A conditional dismissal is possible when approved by all parties. You can use Form DC-508, Consent Order for Conditional Dismissal, Landlord-Tenant, and file it with the court. Information about your other rights and the legal process is available through Michigan Legal Help at www.michiganlegalhelp.org. Additional information on legal resources, housing assistance programs, and court forms are available on our website at www.mi34thdistrictcourt.com/department/civil. Thank you for your attention. Your case will be called shortly.
This is 2403314 LT MSR Holding versus Jamie Landers. Please unmute yourselves and state your names for the record.
Morning, Honor. Afan Packer on behalf of MSR Holding LLC.
Lisa Kozar Johnson, for Jamie Landers.
I'm sorry, what do you mean for Jamie Landers?
I mean, I'm a resident of the house. Sorry.
Are you a signer to the lease?
Yes,
Where is Jamie Landers?
he's actually at work. I paid, sorry.
The issue is that you're not a named tenant, you're not a named defendant to this case, and this court cannot allow you to represent someone else's interests. Mr. Packer?
Your Honor, I don't see that Ms. Kozar Jackson signed the lease. She is listed as an occupant on Exhibit A. There's 2 occupants listed here. Jamie
I
Landers.
cannot allow you to represent someone else's interest. What the court will do is adjourn this case over to June the 12th at 9 a.m. If Jamie Landers does not appear, default judgment will be taken.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Notice will be mailed to the address we have on record. Was there anything else, sir?
No, Your Honor.
June what?
June the 12th at 9 a.m. and notice will be mailed to the named defendant at the address we have on record.
Your Honor, will that be in person or Zoom for the second hearing?
On Zoom, unless you want to be in person.
No, Zoom is fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a great
Anything
day.
else,
So
ma'am?
do I put it on record that I paid $3,500 last night? We paid $3,500 last night.
I will speak with
Ma'am.
my client and I'll get an update before the next hearing. I appreciate you letting us.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was just making sure.
All right, problem.
No, you're fine. I understand. I'll make a note on my end, but
I'm
other
sorry
than
I
that, you're
didn't
free to
have
go.
them.
You can just,
Just wanted to apologize to the court that we did not have Jamie Landers with us at this time. I've just been working with the landlord and I I thought, you know, we could take care of this between ourselves. He told me to call him last night to this morning and he's not been
Ma'am?
answering the phone, so that's why I
Ma'am,
said that.
I understand and I appreciate your
sorry.
position. I thank you for the apologies. But the attorney for the landlord will follow up with the agent in between now and June 12th. If there's something to work out, they'll work it out. And if not, Jamie Landers will come on the 12th and we'll talk about it then, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your
Have a
Honor.
good day.
Bye-bye.
Mhm.
This is 2403178 LT, Richard Williams versus Amanda Humphreys and Joseph Ng.
Good morning, Your Honor.
State your name for me, please.
Richard Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Amanda Humphreys or Joseph Ng? This case was scheduled today at 9 a.m. It's now 9:22 by this court's clock. Defendants have failed to appear. I see that you've made service upon them both according to the court rule. How would you like to proceed this morning, Mr. Williams?
I just guess a judgment in my favor would be the best.
The rent to retain possession, how much rent is due and owing, Mr. Williams?
The rent currently would be $4,757. $4,757.
Court costs? Okay.
The court costs, apologies. Thought you might have had that with you, but.
No, Mr. Williams, do this, please. You need to submit a default judgment with the rent to retain possession and the court costs.
Okay.
If you have questions, we can move you into a breakout room with a member of the court staff. Do you need assistance?
Yeah, yes, if you could, Your Honor, I'd appreciate that.
Yes, we'll get you moved into a breakout room with, I think Dan is still on. If so, he can assist you. Thank you, Dan.
Yes, I'm here, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Williams, go ahead into the breakout room with the Dan from the Civil Department. He'll help you with the judgment information.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. This is 2403295 LT, Michigan State Housing versus Terry Colbert and all occupants at 15817 Colbert.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Your
Laura
appearance.
Hawley. Whoops, I apologize. Good morning, Your Honor. Laura Hawley, P number 71064, on behalf of the plaintiff, Michigan State Housing Development Authority.
Thank you. Today was a day and time scheduled for hearing in this matter. Terry Cowger or any occupants at 15817 Colbert. Case was scheduled at 9 o'clock. It's now 9:23 by this court's clock. On review of the file, there was mailing by the plaintiff and court mail. Was there posting or personal service made in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, let me confirm on the date here for you. I apologize. I'm just flipping through this very quickly. I apologize, Your Honor. I don't want to hold up the court while I get it.
No,
If you would like,
don't apologize. It's fine.
are you sure? I don't want you to be delayed because of me by any means.
So listen, you keep looking. I'll pass the matter briefly. When you locate it, just give me a signal and I'll come back to you, okay?
Okay, I appreciate it.
Thank you. This is 2403297 LT, Willow Country Estates versus Paula Edmonds. Your appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Douglas Swadish appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
And ma'am, unmute yourself and state your name for me, please.
My name is Paula Edmonds. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Ms. Edmonds, have you made application for rental assistance?
In the past, I have.
Not, but have you made it since this case was filed, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
Would you like to speak to a representative from Lakeshore Legal Aid?
No, ma'am.
Then, ma'am, what I'll have you do is go into a breakout room and talk to Mr. Swadesh. If you reach a resolution, you'll come back out. We'll place it on the record, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. You'll see an invitation to go into a breakout room. He'll be there momentarily.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Did you have any other cases this morning, sir?
No, Your Honor, this is the only one.
Okay, thank you. Then we'll get you moved in with Ms. Edmonds.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Hawley, you found what you were looking for?
I did. I apologize, Your Honor.
No worries.
So it was served via attachment on May 18th.
Posting having been done, certified mail, mail from the plaintiff and court mail having been confirmed already, defendant having failed to appear. How would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, at this point, we would like to proceed with the default judgment, please.
This is a termination matter. Default judgment will be granted. Please submit your default judgment through OnBase or True Filing, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else this morning?
No, Your Honor, just for the record, I will put that the writ will be issued on or after June 10th.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Thanks again.
Thank you. Mr. Williams, did you speak to Dan from the Civil Department?
I did, Your Honor.
You're free to go, sir. Have a good day.
I was just wanting to listen to other cases that were in that were going on.
That's fine. That's
Okay.
fine. I just wanted to make sure you didn't need something else.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. 2403298 LT Huron Estates versus Chelsea Brayton. Please unmute yourself and state your names for the record.
Good morning, Jarrett Levine for the plaintiff.
Chelsea
Morning.
Brayton.
Thank you, Ms. Brayton. Have you made an application? I'm sorry, this is a termination case. Would you like to speak to a representative from Lakeshore Legal Aid this morning?
No.
Okay, ma'am, we'll get you moved into a breakout room. You speak to Mr. Levine. If you reach an agreement, you'll come back out and place it on the record, okay?
Okay.
He'll be in there momentarily, ma'am. Your next case is not until 11, Mr. Levine. This is 2403300 LT Bellvilla versus Marcy Osborne.
Morning, Your Honor. Alex Lubianski, P77121 on behalf of plaintiff.
Thank you. This case was scheduled at 9 o'clock. It's now 9:29 by this court's clock. Your name for the record, ma'am?
Marcy Osborne.
Thank you. Ms. Osborne, have you made an application for rental assistance?
No, I will actually have my rent today.
Would you like to speak to a representative from Lakeshore Legal Aid?
No, thank you.
That'll get you moved into a breakout room. The attorney representing Bellvilla will be in there momentarily, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. 2403302 LT Bellvilla versus Antoine Powers Jr. and Colin Powers. I have your appearance noted, Mr. Lubianski.
Thank you.
Lubianski. State your name for me, please, sir. Thank you. Mr. Powers, where is Colin Powers?
He's in Alaska.
I'm sorry?
He's in Alaska.
Sir, have you made an application for rental assistance?
No.
Would you like to speak to a representative from Lakeshore Legal Aid this morning?
No, thank you.
We'll get you moved into a breakout room. The attorney for Bellvilla will be there momentarily.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. This is 2403303 LT Bellvilla versus Tiffany Reed. Tiffany Reed. This case was scheduled at 9 o'clock. It's now 9:30 by this court's clock. Defendant has failed to appear. The court has confirmed attachment and mailing by the court and by the plaintiff. How would you like to proceed this morning, sir?
Your Honor, we move for a default judgment of possession only. Amount of rent currently due $762. Court costs of $189.39. Total of $951.39 with a writ date of June the 7th.
June the 7th? No.
Is that incorrect, Your Honor?
Oh, that's very incorrect. Today is the 29th. Am I doing my math wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
I could
8,
well be
9.
doing it wrong myself. Oh, boy. I've done it
Yeah,
wrong.
it's the 10th, I think.
It is the 10th. I'm so sorry about that. I will amend
No worries.
all of my dates today.
Fix, if you, please prepare the default judgment with a total due of 9/51/39 with a writ date of June the 10th, submitted through OnBase.
Will do. Sorry about that, Your Honor.
No worries. This is 2403-305 LT Bellvilla versus Alyssa Duff, Jennifer Parker, and Pamela Hobson. Your name, ma'am?
Alyssa Duff.
And Jennifer Parker?
She was not able to attend today as she just started her new job. But I have Pamela here with me.
Okay. Ms. Hobson, just your name for the record, ma'am.
Pamela Hobson.
Have you made an application for rental assistance?
No, we have not.
Would you like to speak to a representative from Lakeshore Legal Aid?
No, thank you.
We'll get you moved into a breakout room. The attorney will be there momentarily.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
This is 2403-306 LT Bellvilla versus Stephen Stanley. Stephen Stanley. Today was the day and time scheduled for the first hearing in this matter at 9 o'clock. It is now 9:32 by this court's clock. The court has confirmed mailing by the court and by the plaintiff and posting by the plaintiff. Defendant having failed to appear, sir, how would you like to proceed?
Move for a default judgment of possession only. Amount of rent currently due, $754.61. Cost of $189.39 for a total of $944 with a writ date of June the 10th.
Thank you. Please submit your default judgment through OnBase. 2403-308 LT Bellvilla Meadows versus Derek Cavens Moore. Unmute yourself and state your name for me, please, sir.
Derek Cavens Moore.
Thank you. Sir, have you made application for rental assistance?
No, ma'am.
Would you like to speak to a representative from Lakeshore Legal Aid?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll get you moved into a breakout room with the Lakeshore team. They will screen you. We will adjourn this matter over to June the 12th at 9 a.m. Notice will be mailed to you at the address we have on record, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. If you want to go in and talk to your tenants now, I think that's the balance of your cases.
Did I possibly miss Meadows v. Abraham, Your Honor?
We received a dismissal of that case yesterday.
Well, I was not informed. Thank you very much. I'm sure that's correct.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Williams, was there anything in particular you were looking for or had questions about?
No, I just wanted to hear some of the cases. As
We're
al-
not done yet. When they come from the breakout, if they have agreements, we'll place them on the record. Otherwise, the rest of the cases from this morning are being adjourned over at the
Okay.
return date of June the 12th.
Okay, no problem. I'm only a landlord for a couple houses, and I just wanted to hear how some of the other ones went. So,
You're welcome to stay, and you're always welcome to watch. We do landlord tenant cases every Wednesday.
okay, all right, great. Yeah, and you probably don't remember me. I was in there a couple years when the courthouse was just finished or something, and you gave me a tour of it. Me and my buddy a tour of it. So.
Honestly, no, I don't remember. I saw you, I thought you looked familiar, but I just assumed it was from the landlord tenant docket.
Yeah, no, this is my only first one. I'm probably gonna have another one pretty soon too. So from the same house, believe it or not. So I didn't know.
Well, when you file cases, it's typically best to come with the amounts that are due and owing so that you can tell the judge so they can make notes and be ready to file your judgment.
Yeah.
This is a recall of 2403297 LT Willow Country Estates versus Edmonds. Parties have had the opportunity to speak. How are we proceeding, sir?
Good morning, Your Honor. We have reached an agreement. Ms. Edmonds and the plaintiff have agreed that the total rent that would need to be paid to retain possession is $20,000. That's inclusive of costs and everything else. Ms. Edmonds has until June 14th to either pay that amount or move out before the plaintiff could apply for a writ of eviction.
Ms. Edmonds, you were present when the video played this morning that explained the rights that you had available to you.
Yes.
Did you have any questions about those rights or today's proceedings?
No, ma'am.
And after speaking to the attorney, you wish to enter into an agreement that indicates that there is $20,000 due and owing to the plaintiff, and you will pay this amount or vacate the property by June the 14th.
Yes, ma'am.
And ma'am, because you appear by Zoom and not in person, there's not a signed agreement. Is the attorney to sign the agreement for you?
No.
Sir, how are you circulating the consent judgment?
So Ms. Edmonds, if you can send me your email address, I'd be happy to email you a copy of what we discussed. We would submit to the court so you could review it and sign it and send it back to me.
Okay.
Do you have the ability to print? If I email it to you, do you have the ability to print it off and sign it and then scan it and send it back?
I would have to go to a library, but I could do that within the next couple of days.
Okay. So, Your Honor, maybe I would ask if we could put this off for a week just to allow us to get that consent judgment entered. If it's entered, then we wouldn't have to appear again. Would that be all right with the court?
I'll make notes in the file that the terms of the agreement are the $20,000 by June the 14th, and it won't go on the no progress docket for probably a month. So I'm not going to put it over for a week unless that's how you want.
But I guess, Your Honor, my concern is if for whatever reason this doesn't get signed, I don't want to be stuck in limbo and have to wait a while before we can get back in front of the court.
Oh, no worries. Then Ms. Edmonds, what the court will do is set this matter on for June the 12th at 9:15. That's my second hearing date, sir. June the 12th at 9:15 a.m. But if you sign the agreement before then, if he sends it to you, you sign it, you can scan it and get it back to him. He'll file it and you won't need to appear again. Otherwise, you'll be back on June the 12th at 9:15 and we'll talk about how we're proceeding, okay?
Okay.
Anything
Ms.
else,
Edmonds,
sir?
I just need your email address, Ms. Edmonds.
Oh, let me get you moved back into the breakout. You can get it
Thank
in there so it's not being streamed.
Thank you,
Any
Your Honor.
questions before you go back in with the attorney, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
After you give him your email address in the breakout room, you'll be free to go from there, okay?
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
This is a recall of 2403298 LT Huron Estates versus Brayton. I already have your appearances. The parties have had the opportunity to speak. How are we proceeding, Mr. Levine?
Your Honor, we'd request a 2-week adjournment, anticipating that we'd have the case resolved with a consent judgment during that time frame.
Ms. Brayton, is that your understanding?
Yes.
This case will be adjourned over to June the 12th at 9:15 a.m. Back here on Zoom, back on the same Zoom ID. Anything else this morning, sir?
And not on this case. I had one at 11, but we sent in the satisfaction. So I don't, is that,
Well,
I don't
give me
plan
one
on-
second. Anything else, Ms. Brayton?
No.
Ms. Brayton, you're free to go. You have a good day. Good luck to you. I did see the satisfaction, Mr. Levine, in that 11 o'clock case, but I wanted to make sure that it had been conveyed to Mr. Maynard, and he knew that he did not need to appear for his motion.
he didn't give a phone number.
That's my concern. I saw the satisfaction, but he raised issues, and
I'll come back
if
at
you're
11.
not here at 11, I'll understand, but I just can't take it off without being sure that he knows about it.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You have a good day, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. You too.
Yep. Bye.
This is a recall of 2403300 LT Bill Villa versus Osborne. The parties have had the opportunity to speak. How are we proceeding, sir?
Your Honor, I believe Ms. Osborne is going to get fully caught up today, so I'm simply seeking a control date. If she does in fact do so, we would dismiss. Otherwise, we would move for a judgment the next court date.
Was that your understanding, Ms. Osborne?
Yes.
Ma'am, we'll adjourn this case over to June the 12th at 9 a.m. And so long as you've made the payment as discussed with the attorney, the court would expect to receive a dismissal. If not, we'll take up the balance on June the 12th, okay?
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Anything else this morning, ma'am?
Nope,
You're free to go, ma'am. You have a wonderful day.
you too.
2403302 LT Bell Villa versus Powers and Powers. The parties have had the opportunity to speak. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we have an agreed upon consent judgment that I can share with the court, and also a quick update. The second named defendant is actually not in Alaska. He was in the residence. He just got back in town, so we have a consent as to both parties. They're both there.
Where's Colin Powers?
He's right here, Your Honor.
So when I asked you where he was and you said Alaska, were you not being honest with the court?
No, he's stationed in Alaska. He got back at like 2 a.m. this morning, Your Honor. I forgot he was here.
The terms of the consent, sir?
So this is a possession-only judgment. As of today's date, in rent, $1,259. Court costs $247.14. Total of $1,506.14 to be paid with a writ date of June the 17th. I explained MCR 4.201 to both defendants, and both of them gave me their permission to sign electronically on their behalf.
Thank you. Mr. Antoine Powers, were you present when the video played that explained the rights you have available to you this morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about those rights?
No, I do not.
Mr. Colin Powers, were you present when the video played that explained the legal rights you had available to you this morning?
No, it was not.
Did you receive a copy of the summons and complaint in this matter?
Yes.
Did you review the rights sheet that was inserted in there?
Yes.
Did you have any questions about those rights?
No, I do not.
Would you like the court to review those rights at all, sir?
No, thank you.
You had the opportunity to speak to the attorney, and all parties agreed that there is $1,259 in rent due and owing, $247.14 in cost, with a total judgment of $1,506.14.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand that this amount must be paid or vacate the property by June 17th, 2024.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Antoine Powers, you wish that to be your agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Colin Powers, you wish that to be your agreement this morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because you appear by Zoom, there's not a signed agreement. How had the parties discussed how that agreement would be circulated or submitted?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sorry.
How will it be submitted?
I will submit it via OnBase, and I will sign electronically on behalf of both defendants. Both of them gave me their permission.
Mr. Powers, was that your understanding that the attorney would sign your signature to the proposed consent judgment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Antoine Powers, do you have any questions about this morning's proceedings?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Mr. Colin Powers, any questions about this morning's proceedings?
No, Your Honor.
And the attorney will prepare the consent judgment with the terms just placed on the record, file it with the court, and you will receive a copy in the mail shortly. You're free to go. You have a great afternoon.
You do the same. Thank you.
Thank you. This is 2403305 LT Bell Villa versus Duff, Parker, and Hobson. The parties have had the opportunity to speak. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, having had the opportunity to meet in a breakout room, I'm just seeking a second court date. There's no dispute with the amounts owed. They're going to do their best to get caught up. If they've done so in full, we would dismiss. Otherwise, we would proceed at the next date.
Ms. Duff and Ms. Hobson, was that your understanding?
Yes.
Yes.
The court will adjourn this matter over to June the 12th at 9:15 a.m. It will be back on Zoom, back at the same Zoom ID. Anything else, Ms. Duff?
Nope.
No.
Anything else, Ms. Hobson?
No.
Thank you. You're free to go. You have a great afternoon.
Thank you, you as well.
Thank you. Was
Thank
there
you, Your Honor.
anything
Have a
else,
great
sir?
day.
You too. Marianne, I'll leave us up because we have that 11 o'clock, but that's it for us, I think.
All righty.
Thank you, ma'am.